Hey everyone, this is dArmond, the creator of ChartLogic. Today I'm going to give you a sneak peek of my new EA, ChartLogic. If you're ready to get logical, then let's get started. Hey guys, so here I am on a chart with ChartLogic running, and earlier today I finished the development on ChartLogic. So ChartLogic is now feature complete. Now, it's not quite ready for release. I still have to put it through a lot of testing, and there's a number of things that I have to do before it can go up in the market, but it's really, really close. And I wanted to take this opportunity to do a quick demo and show you some things about how ChartLogic works, what it is, and how easy it is to do stuff on your charts. And so what I've got here is I'm on this chart, Euro, New Zealand dollar, and you can see I've got some objects that are being displayed on the chart, like my highs and last month low and yesterday low and all of this stuff. Now, normally this is being displayed on my charts by an indicator I have called key levels. But at the moment, I'm not running key levels. At the moment, I'm running a strategy in ChartLogic that I have called key levels. And if I turn this off, then all of those key level lines disappear. And they've been configured in ChartLogic to look exactly the same as the lines from the key level indicator. So it was an exercise for me in making sure the functionality in ChartLogic was working correctly in terms of lines and indicators and stuff. And if I were to click on this, it brings up a high-level view. And so we can start by looking at, the conditions. And so here's where all the data is coming from. I have candle conditions, and I have the level condition, and they're setting all of these variables, and there's the data that is being set by all of those conditions. And then there are actions that are then displaying information on the chart using that data, and and then you see what's being displayed on the chart. So I'm going to turn this off because we don't really. So what I want to demonstrate is how easy it is to replicate functionality on the charts using something like ChartLogic. And so the last thing that I have running here is this orange line, and this orange line is showing me the break-even price for the position that is currently running on this chart. So I've got two open trades, which means I have a short position with two trades in it, and this orange line that is being displayed here is showing me where that position average is. And that line is coming from another indicator that I have called basket line. Basket line, by the way, is one of the free indicators that I have. If you go to the free stuff section of the website, this is this is available for free. And it's not just showing you break even. Like, for instance, you can select it and drag it, and it will tell you what the value of the trade would be once price got to that. So this would be worth 0.03% if it got to that point. And then if you deselect it, it snaps back to where it was. So there is actually some interesting advanced functionality that we're not going to address today. But what I want to do is I want to take this basket line indicator off the chart, and I want to demonstrate doing something similar just using ChartLogic. So let's do that now. So we're going to create a new, and what the top level thing is called is a strategy. And we'll call this the BE line, and this is, so then you choose what symbols, and by default you're only working on the current chart, but there's a shortcut here for working with all the majors. You can work with every symbol that's in your market watch, and you could work with a list of symbols that you provide in the inputs, or just the current chart. So we're going to use the current chart. And we're not going to set a magic number because we're not going to be doing any trading. We're just showing information on the chart. And then the strategy contains things called logic sets. So let's put a logic set in here. And a logic set is a combination of conditions and actions. So conditions are all of the things that have to be true, and actions are all of the things that you do when all of those things are true. So we're going to call this one long BE line. So everything that we're going to put into this single set will be about a long line. Actually, we need to do it short because this is I have short trades in this position, not long trades. All right, so we'll do the short BE line, and then to this I have all of the different types of conditions. That is, all of the different things that I can say about this trade. I'm going to have to shoot this video quickly because this trade's going to hit its target. We can say things about our accounts, like your account balance, account equity. You can say things about candles, technical indicators, key levels, and so on. At the moment, I'm interested in information about either trades or positions. And so this is the trade condition dialog. The first section is the same for all different types of conditions. The cycle is how often does this get updated. And we want this to update on every tick, because every time price moves, the value of the basket that we're going to report on is changing. So every time we have a new tick, I need to get updated data. And then expiry is once the condition has been evaluated and it is true, how long is it considered to be true? How long is that data good for? And it can be a certain number of ticks, bars, seconds, or it can never expire. And in this case, we're just going to say 1 tick. So every tick I'm going to get new data, and it's not going to live past that 1 tick. For mode, we're going to change it from trade to position. I'm not interested in the individual open prices for the trades. I want the average price for the entire position, and we'll change this to short. And if I wanted to be more specific about filtering the trades, I could find only trades that are in profit, or only a trade that is more than half an ADR in drawdown, or something like that. But all I really want to do now is find any open short positions, and I want to return. In the list right now, it's called open price, but for a position, this really means the average. And I'll change the name of this. In fact, for the parameters here, it's already been changed. It says average. It's for a trade, this says open price, but for a position, it changes to say average. But it's really the same idea. It's the price at which this either trade or position would break even. So we're going for a position, a short position, and I'm going to return the open price or the average for that line. And then under actions, we're going to add something to the list of actions. The kinds of actions I have are alert actions, so either send a push or a pop-up alert. Trade actions, open and close trades. Object actions, objects are things on your chart like text or lines, or a disable action, which would disable the entire logic set. Well, what we want to do is we want to put a line on the chart. So that's an object action. So here's my object action dialog. And the first thing I do is choose the object type. So in this case, it is a line. And when I select that, then the parameters, the way that I configure that line, are displayed in the dialog. The first thing I have to do is give it a name. So we're going to call this the short BE line. And what price do I want this line to be displayed at? Well, I have this condition that has identified the price for the short position. So I want to use that. And now I could have it save its data in a variable that I could then refer to, but I can also just have it pass its data from, it's the last thing that happened, so I can accept it in the next thing as the input. So I'm just going to take it as the input, and so the price that I got from the previous thing is being set here. Let's increase and then we can just configure, like if I want to change the color, by default it's red, but if I click the little header here, I get this color picker, and if you hover over it, it tells you what the color is. This is orange, and I can change the line style. There's the available styles. And we also have the common properties for all objects, whether it's selectable. We don't need this line to be selectable. All right, so let's take a look at our current work and see what it's looking like. So here's the high level view. I've got one condition. It's a short position returning the open price, and then one action, which is a line that is using that data as the input. And when I turn this on, it's now showing me my average line on the chart. So I know that's not like, oh my God, this is super advanced. This is not rocket science, I got a price and I showed a line. But the fact is that the infrastructure for how all of this works in terms of you can identify anything that you want, and you can collect data from that, and then you can perform actions. Let's do a little bit more. So remember on the old line we had some text on this. On the old basket, on the basket line indicator, we had some text being displayed. So let's see if we can replicate something like that. All right, so we're going to edit this line. We're going to edit this. No, we're going to edit this logic set, and I'm going to add. Let's add some text. We'll add an object of type text, and we'll call this the BE short text, and our color was orange. And now I have this line here for the font. You can choose what font you want, and if you click the string name in the header, it brings up a list of available fonts. Now this is not a comprehensive list of all fonts in my system. It's just a list of the sort of most common, and you can still, like, let's say you could still type like any font name that you want here, as long as it matches a valid font in your system. That'll work. And for the price, we want the same price as the line that we're showing, and then the anchor is like, where is this text anchored to that price? So let's make this the left lower, for instance, and I'm not going to angle the text. I'm not going to change the size of the text. The time, if I leave it at 0, and it will just use the current time on the chart. So I don't need to get a variable to specify time for something like this, but I do need to say what text. So we could just say, for instance, this is the short BE line. Okay. All right, let's take a look at that. So now I just put that text, but that's not enough, I think. The previous line was giving me information here. It was telling me how far away price currently was from that line. This position is about to close in profit. So at any moment, I may lose my trades. All right, let's see how long it lasts. Okay, so what I want to do now is I need another piece of data, and what I'm going to do is add another trade condition for the short position, and this time I'm going to return the distance in ADR to that position. We're just like the other one, we're going to update it every tick, and now I need to move it higher in the list because this one is setting a variable. This other one was just passing me the data, and so I need the one that's going to pass the data to be the last one in the list. And now that I've got this variable defined called ADR, I can refer to that variable. So I could just choose ADR. Whoops. Did I not set a variable? Oh, I didn't actually set the variable. Short ADR. I forgot to name it. All right, now if I come here, I could choose that variable here as my input, and then it would be showing me. In fact, let's just do that. And we turn it on. And now it's showing me that value there. So I'm 0.44. So if it gets to 0.5, then we're done. That's not exactly what I wanted to do, though. I didn't just want to show a number there. What I wanted to do was to show some text that said short BE, and then let's say now I want to show the value here, and that value, I'm going to put the name of the variable inside of these delimiters using the percent mark. So that was short underscore ADR, and then the closing percentage sign. and then I'm going to put the text ADR. So now I've got that text, and if I were to save that and show that on the line on the chart, short BE at 0.45, 0.46 ADR. See how easy that was? I mean, when I wrote basket line, and I know basket line is doing a little bit more than this, like you can select it and drag it and stuff. I mean, it takes, even something simple like that takes, a fair bit of programming skill and knowledge and time and debugging and all that. And we've just replicated the same functionality here in a couple of minutes. And it took me a very long time just because I'm talking about every little thing that I'm doing. And in reality, it's a very simple description. It's 2 pieces of data, and I'm storing one in a variable, and then I'm passing that along to 2 different objects on the chart. And I have complete control. Like, let's say you were using basket line, but you didn't like, something about how it was behaving, or you didn't like, something about, I don't know. But you would be limited to what I chose to make available to you as the developer through the inputs, through the configuration options for that indicator. And now you have complete control over every aspect of how this works. So let's do one last thing while we still have time. Let's edit it again. And so this is the short version. And so now I want to have the long version of this. And I could start again by adding a new logic set and just going through the same steps that we went through to create it. But I already know everything that I want. I just need to modify it for the long version. So under this menu is this option to clone it. So there's the clone, and now it's a complete copy of everything that we've done before. So let's call this the long BE line. Take that word copy out of the title. And then for this one trade condition, we're going to change it from a short to a long, and I'm going to change this name where it says short. I'm going to make it say long. Save, and then this short position where we are returning the basket average, we're going to make that a long. Save, and then we're going to come here to this line, and a couple of things to do here. I need to change the name. So it says long BE line, and the input is fine. And then for this text, I need to change this where it says short BE text. I'm going to make it say long. And then a couple of things we wrote in the text over here. So instead of short, it'll say long, if I can spell. And then in the variable name where I had typed short, we're going to change that because now it's long. And we're going to change the anchor, so instead of being on the lower, we're going to be on the upper. And that's it. Save, save, save. Now if I were to bring up that high-level view, now I've got 2 logic sets. I've got the short and the long. You can see all of their variables, and if this were running, we can turn it on so it will run. You can see that for the short version, I've got data coming in, it's passing, and then it's updating the objects on the chart. So like with these objects, with these actions here, it's showing me that the anchor is set to the left lower. It's just making the parameters for that action available to you, and you can cycle through those parameters by clicking the little asterisk in the header row, so you can see all the different inputs that are configured. Okay, and so let's say I'm happy with this BE line, and I'd like to make sure that I still have this around for later. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to put it in my strategies folder, and I'm going to call it my BE line. So I can bring this line back anytime I want and put it either on a chart. I can add it to another strategy if I wanted to. Like, let's say I didn't want to have a separate BE line running on the chart. I wanted to just build it into some strategy so that it was always there. I could do that. I have complete flexibility over how I want to do things. And that is, my friends, what ChartLogic is all about. So I hope that was an interesting introduction. And I was kind of hoping that this trade would come down here and hit its target, but I'm sure we'll hit this target by the end of the day. All right, guys, thanks for your attention, and thanks for your interest in ChartLogic, and I hope that that was fun. Thank you for watching. ChartLogic is not yet available in the MQL5 market, but it is coming soon. If you liked this video, please give it a like to let me know that this is the kind of content you're interested in, and if you're so inclined, you can subscribe and click the notification icon to be notified when I post new videos. Leave a comment below to let me know if I made any mistakes, or if there are any features that you'd like to see in future versions.